With this in mind, we acknowledge that our school rests in the heart of Straits Salish territory, a living culture with its own rites, ceremonies, and unfolding history. We honor the Esquimalt, Songhees, and Wasanich peoples whose homelands we share and whom we recognize as our neighbors. We have the grade 6 to start, and then we'll have the first of 3 set changes. It's a lovely space in the chapel, but it's not the greatest for set changes, so we have the students leaving and other students coming on stage. So it's a good time to have a little chat and maybe grab a refill on your coffee, tea, or water at the back, and then we'll get going shortly with the next crew. Thanks for your patience with that, and thank you for coming to our concert. We have the first grade 6 piece is called Bella Baka Polka. Bella Baka Polka has got melody through all the instruments. I really like this piece because it makes it a really lively sound, and each instrument gets its due. It also gets a key change in the middle to get the kids to do 2 different keys, from G major to D major. And then we're going to jazz things up a little bit with a piece called Feel It Still. And Feel It Still you can hear on the radio even nowadays, even though it was written in 2017 by a band called Portugal the Man. Feel It Still, you will hear the groove in the cello, bass, and viola, and a melody in the violins mostly. Feel It Still by Portugal the Man to liven things up at the end. Please welcome the grade 6s. grade sixes. I'd like to invite the grade sixes to carefully and slowly make their way out. And the grade sevens has done very well. We have grade seven. We have two pieces for you. We've got the first called Rustic Dance. Rustic Dance is one of my favorite string orchestra pieces for this level because it's so easy to play for the students while having lots of challenges built in, and it's got a lot of musical complexity. So we have two main themes, and the first theme is one that they all play together, but the second theme is called a fugue. It's a fugue theme that travels all the way through the sections and winds its way around while different counter melodies play around it a lot. It's very complex and interesting, but yet still accessible for the students. And then it's got this really fiery ending where the violins go really, really passionately into their strings, and it gets this really raucous ending for us. Rustic Dance, and then we have a country hoedown for you at the end. It's a little bit of a lighter fare and much more jumpier melodies around the sections, and we get this little percussive slap clap thing going on, which every section gets to play too. So a little bit of percussion with our strings concert today. The grade sevens, please, welcome them. like to invite you grade 7s, if you are not in the string orchestra, to take your departure. And those who are in the string orchestra will join us in a moment. Grade 8s who are string orchestra people, you may rise. And we'll switch over again this evening. Mozart Divertimento number 12, which is actually written originally for a wind group. So it's been transcribed for strings, but it's a nice, light sounding piece, but it's actually incredibly complex because Mozart, everything is exposed. All of the notes that they play are very obvious. So it's very risky for players to play Mozart because everything is exposed and easy to hear if things slip up. So it requires a lot of very technical, pointed playing by these students. And then a complete change of pace. Now for something completely different. The James Bond theme. The James Bond theme is an iconic theme that has been in every James Bond film, all 25 of them, ever since 1962, when Dr. No was released. So over 60 years ago when that film was released, and it's been going strong ever since. There's so many iconic motifs in this James Bond theme. Every minute of this piece, every second of this piece has something interesting going on that's recognizable. So we have some Mozart and then some James Bond. Please welcome the Crossgrace String Orchestra. String Orchestra, I'd like to invite the grade 7s who have joined us and the grade 6s who have joined us to take their departure. And any grade 8s still in the house may ascend the stage. Our last crew of the evening. So brief it is when you work so hard for many weeks and months and then it's all over in a matter of an hour. But hey, concerts are one of my favorite things because for me the hard work is already done. And I can just come and enjoy myself. I hope the students feel the same way. They've worked hard in their bedrooms, in their classrooms to prepare these pieces for themselves, for their classes, and for you. And I hope it really pays off with a really special sense of accomplishment by the end. So thank you to our students and to our families for supporting all that throughout this entire process of learning. It's really, really valuable for all the students. We have a piece called Ancient Airs and Dances to start off with. So this is actually a Renaissance piece, so from the Renaissance era from many years ago, like 400 years ago. But it's actually been rewritten by a guy called Ottorino Respighi about 100 years ago for string orchestra. It was originally written for lutes, which is a guitar-like instrument, a Renaissance guitar instrument called the lute. Very beautiful sound. And then it's been rescored for a full orchestra, and we have our string orchestra version here. However, I'm very proud that this string orchestra version is almost the same as the professional full orchestra version. So it's got lots of complex lines that intermingle and counter melodies. It's a really wonderful piece. And our final piece takes us back to the 21st century. This song was the winner for Song of the Year at the 2008 Grammys. And it was also the winner for the pop group performance by Coldplay. This is going to be Viva la Vida, which means live the life. And it struck me that it's also very close to our school motto, which is Vivat. So Viva la Vida, Vivat la Vida. Anyways, Viva la Vida by Coldplay will finish us off, and thank you very much for coming to our concert, for your support. Grade 8, so they go.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you at our Strings concert tonight. My name is Richard Brambley. I'm the director of the middle school, if I haven't met you. And you'd think after 20 plus years of being in education, either as a teacher or an administrator, I'd be used to the talents of our students. Yet every single time I come to a concert, or I watch them play sports, or I go to a musical, I'm always blown away by the variety of talents. So there's a number of students here that would have been playing basketball about an hour ago. There's a number of students that were on the squash courts. There's a number of students that were practicing for the musical. There's a number of students that were in robotics club. There was a number of students at Model UN, and so on and so on. And that's just what we do at school, and I know they're outside of school doing amazing things too. But tonight's about celebrating strings and music, and so I just want to recognize our students on top of all of those other commitments that you do so very well. Your music tonight was beautiful, and you performed so fantastically well. So if our guests would share with me our appreciation by giving another round of applause for them. You can smile up here too when you get rounds of applause. You see a lot of grade 8 faces, which we're used to around here. This doesn't happen without a huge amount of support, and there's 3 people in particular I want to say thank you to. One is Mr. Floyd, who shows up to everything and supports everything, and is so incredibly helpful. So thank you, Mr. Floyd, for being here tonight. To Mary Smith, who is, Mary, would you stand, please? Mary is the founding, Mary is the founding faculty member of our Strings program, and so this would not happen without her vision and her hard work over many, many years, and still supports the junior, middle, and senior school Strings program. So thank you again, Mary. And then lastly, to Mr. Smith, and I'll just share with you, one of the things I remember when I joined the school about 5 years ago, I said to teachers, it's important we take risks. We ask our students to take risks all the time. It's important we take risks. And we challenge them, and we try and push them beyond what we think they're capable of, because every single time they'll exceed our expectations. And what I love about Mr. Smith is he'll pick the classical pieces, and then he'll pick some fun, outside of the box pieces. And I said tonight, as we were sitting having some dinner before the concert, I said, I knew there was going to be some pop music. I didn't know the list of what was playing. And I said, is there a Taylor Swift song? Because I know Taylor's pretty good, big right now. And he said, no, it doesn't work for strings. But, and you explained why, and I'm not going to try and explain why Taylor Swift doesn't work for strings. But I knew there'd be some fun stuff, and there really was that balance between classical and fun music. So thank you, Mr. Smith. Your hard work really shows in terms of how the students perform. So thank you so much on behalf of So last thing from me, we have next Wednesday we have our carol service, and that's going to conclude our musical festival. So it started last Friday with the dance, last night with the band concert, tonight with our string concert, and then on Wednesday the 4th we'll have our carol service down at Christ Church Cathedral. Please join us. It's a beautiful service. The students will sing beautifully, and they really, as a middle school, anchor the service in terms of the performance and the mood and the festive season. So I'd love to see all of you there, and get home safely. To our American friends and families of the school, happy Thanksgiving, and happy holidays to everyone for the weeks to come. Great to see you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Students, as you leave, when you pack away your instruments, please come and grab one.